the Super Saiyan like 4 Goku Vegeta stuff. On the one hand, I actually like the idea that they become so feral that they actually get their tails back. And
yeah,
stuff
that's
like
kind of cool.
And they get kind of hairy bodies and stuff. It's just really weird. On the other hand, I think they look a little bit like a trapeze artist too. They kind of, I'm not sure I like their outfit where it's got that super deep V, like this like boat neck shirt.
Do you know, here's a fun fact, do you know that I have the Neanderthal DNA for less back hair?
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I have no back hair really, and I had the DNA result to prove it, and it's from my I have a high percentage of Neanderthal DNA I discovered, which explains my caveman-like ways. Mm-hmm. But this is a side note completely. But you were talking about back hair or hair and the stuff, and it made me think about that. So.
Yeah, it's just like there's some things I don't like about it, and I do kind of agree with him on. I think I love the blue hair thing. That's pretty neat. Although right now, it still hasn't been, as Sean said, it hasn't really been discussed what that power is. So it kind of feels like
more of the same.
If your friend said like, "Today I'm God mode interesting," and you're like, "In what way?" And you're like, "I'm just God mode interesting,
just faster,
just more interesting,
more
today.
Powerful."
Like, all right, cool. Can you tell us more about that? Nah.
Yeah,
not really.
Not really. I thought one of the more interesting things that I wish had been explored more, and I'm digressing, had been Goku's trip to Yardrat. Like, he goes to Yardrat, he gets this cool outfit, he learns the instant transmission. What did he do with the Yardratians? He was there for a while, he's hanging out, partying, eating everything.
He slayed them all.
He enslaved them all? Like, what did he do?
He killed all of them.
I would love to see, like, an arc of, yeah, he kills them all. And he acts like he's a nice guy, steals their techniques, instant transmissions out there, and leaves behind a dead planet, and doesn't tell his family.
Yep.
He's a secret.
That was his most regretful trip. Like,
that would be hilarious.
Goku got drunk for the first time, and it's totally messed up.
Accidentally killed an entire species of...
That would actually be a really cool movie if the Yardratians came back for their revenge.
Yeah, Yardrat's Revenge. And they all instant transmission around Goku trying to beat him up.
I think there was an Atari game called Yardrat's Revenge.
Oh, yeah, it was called...
Yar's Revenge.
Yar's Revenge, not Yardrat's Revenge.
All right, never mind. Sorry. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
These people in this line are like, we're never going to get a question.
So, you're doing Super, right?
Yes.
No.
Well... How do you both react to Black Goku when he showed up? And
what I'm reacting, well, I've been reacting to the subtitle translations, which have a lot of politically incorrect explanations of Goku, referring to him as that black guy and stuff like that. Which I'm like, okay, how are we going to handle this to not sound totally racist here in the language? So that is, humorous and also scary to me. I thought when I first heard about Goku Black, I was intrigued by it because for 18 years I've been wanting to play an evil character in this show because Chris gets all the sweet lines and I don't. Mm-hmm. And every time I played an evil character on another show, it's been really fun. And Goku doesn't really evolve and change, and Vegeta does. Everyone else on the show evolves and changes. Goku's constantly stuck in beginner's mind, which is part of his symbolism and part of his interesting. That's part of his, what makes him interesting. And then as we learn more about the show, when I started doing the voice for Goku Black, we hadn't done it on the show yet, and Chris is like, we got this character you got to do, and it's for the video game. I go, well, can you tell me about it? He's like, no, they're not telling us anything because it hasn't been released in Japan, and they're keeping it hush-hush. And I go, well, I'm the actor playing him in America. Can I have more info? And they're like, no. And so I just came up with whatever I could to do that. And then what we did, I don't know if you mind if I explain this, I'm not going to reveal names, but for the DLC for the latest one, I had to do Goku Black Rose. And here's an interesting fact. I've been getting a lot of praise for that, and I can't really take the credit because we hired a really famous, really cool actor to play Zamasu, which we're not going to reveal yet. But he did Zamasu's voice, and so I listened to Zamasu's voice and mimicked that style and that accent because Goku Black, Zamasu's in Goku Black.
Well, wait, maybe we don't want to spoil it.
Well, do you guys who's been watching Super all the way through?
Oh.
Okay, so this is not too much of a spoiler. Plug your ears if you haven't watched Super all the way through.
Well, you can be vague about it, but because the people who've seen it will understand.
Yeah, we can be vague about it.
Anybody who's seen it will understand why he might want to keep his voice similar to Zamasu's because they're in the
yeah, so there's that. You can understand why these transformations occur. So the haters who've been giving me a little flack about how Goku Black should be a little more floral speaking or talking like this or something, we don't agree because the language isn't written that way. Once I got to Goku Black Rose, the dialogue from Japan was written very floral and very almost Frieza-like in its very, erudite or highfalutin type of language, right? Which Goku Black is not written that way, which also how a character's written, especially when I audition for those of you who are aspiring voice actors, informs me if I want to use an accent, if they don't tell us whether or not there is one. It also informs me the nature of the character and how I want to talk. And so I had very little dialogue in the DLC, and Chris and I were like, well, we can switch it for the show if we want. We'll see how it plays out. And we still are going to revisit this idea once we start hitting those episodes. But it's the way we have it set up now, we think it's kind of a cool evolution of the voice. Once you end up hearing who Zamasu is and who's playing him, it's going to be a really cool thing, and we're very excited about it. And I think that's all I can say on that. So is that the question, what my reaction to was Goku Black? Because I think I kind of interrupted you. What was the full question? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And
My reaction was cool.
And also blame my brother who showed me Dragon Ball Z before, because I've been in Dragon Ball Z for a long time. But blame my brother, he showed me it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
John, your brother.
I feel like more than any other show, Dragon Ball Z has like a cult-like following in the literal sense of the word. Like I'll see parents and siblings like, no, you will watch Dragon Ball, and you will follow the ways of the Dragon Balls.
We didn't name you Gohan for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. We see that a lot. Like there's like forced love. I'm like, okay, that's how you feel about it. I'm not going to tell you how to run your family, but maybe the kid doesn't like Dragon Ball.
I still can't get my 6-year-old daughter to really watch it. I can let her watch some episodes, but she gets scared really easily.
But she didn't like Vegeta until you told him he was a prince.
Exactly.
But she likes princes.
Yeah, when she was really little, I was like, you know who this is? This is Vegeta. She goes, yeah, do you know who he is? He's a prince. And she's like, oh, yeah. Let it go. Anyway, let it go! Coronation Day. All right. That's from this little-known feature called Frozen. I don't know if you guys have heard
of it. I have not seen it yet, but thank you. Hopefully that answers your questions. Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause.
I have a question for Chris.
Yeah.
How did you enjoy voicing Garland for the City of Final Fantasy?
I enjoyed it a lot.
Wait, did you have a funny session in that? Was that session where like it took you forever? You made a bunch more money because they were taking forever, but they were like, you do one line and then they'd have a discussion for like 20 minutes in Japanese.
Yeah, when they first called me in, they're like, you're going to play Garland, or we'd like to know if you're interested in playing Garland in Final Fantasy. I'm like, wait, what? I didn't even audition for this. Turns out that the guy who played Garland in the Japanese version of the show was a guy who was the same voice as the guy who played Alex Louis Armstrong in Full Metal Alchemist. So they wanted to use the same guy in America. I'm like, hey, I'm cool with that. And they said, we're going to need you probably for 2 days of recording. I go, cool, because it's Final Fantasy, so it's a really good paying gig. They treat the game very, very seriously. I show up, there's all these Japanese clients there, the director's there, there's an engineer, there's probably 10 people in the room. I look at my script, and it's maybe only 3 pages long, 14-point, 15-point font, triple space.
How many cues did you have roughly?
Probably 40 cues.
40 cues, but if you run at normal video game speed, you could do that in less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
A normal video game speed.
So I looked at this, I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to have the rest of the day off today and probably tomorrow morning to hang out in Los Angeles. So, but then they start the lines, and here's how the sessions went. They go, okay, yes, we're going to have you read your lines. We're going to play you the video, and then we're going to have you read your line twice, and then we'll kind of go from there. So it go, I go, I am the beginning and the end. I am the beginning and the end. Okay, hold on 1 second, please.
はい、私はこれはね。
そうそう。これ
は好きなあんのね。私はこちらのレントね。これは出ますんの。
そんな仕方だったらしいよね。ち
ょっと待って。これは好きなのね。何も。
And this would go on for 15 or 20 minutes. Like you're not.
Then the guy come back on and go, okay, next line. Or is that what you do?
Yes, yeah. They go, yes. He is dying in that line. So could you give me one more of those? Okay, sure. I am the beginning and the end. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Oh, これはそれなのね。2人は3回よ。
It took a day and a half to do it, and
we speak fake Japanese, obviously, but
which is really funny because they their studio they recorded in, I joked about like how Walt Disney's body was probably buried underneath the floor there because it was freezing cold, and I was in LA, so I thought, oh, I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah.
So I was so cold during that session. I was literally cold reading every line.
But sometimes sessions can go like that, and it'll drive you mad because you want to stay warm, and then the opposite's true. Well, they'll just give you cue after cue and wear your voice out, which is the opposite. And I definitely have respect for anybody who's picking the line that.
Yeah, they took it very seriously,
which is great because that means they care about the show.
They did. It was cool, and at the same time, like, this is Final Fantasy. I'm just gonna like, and I think they want to simulate. They want their voiceover sessions to mirror the feeling you have when you're playing the game.
It's taking forever.
Yeah.
With a giant sword.
45 minutes long. Anyway, thank you.
Also, real quickly, can you say "I'll crush you" as Garland?
I'll crush you as Garland.
As Garland. That'd be funny if you had a Final Fantasy game where it's turn-based and then the guy shows up and it goes into battle mode and it'll be like 4 blobs and they each have hit points. It's like 4 producers, and then they talk amongst themselves and you have to use a silence attack or go to the next Q attack. It's like, never mind. It's funnier if you're a voice actor, but
if you bring him coffee, you get a critical.
Yeah, you get a critical if you bring him coffee or something.
My question is for Chris.
Yes, thank you.
How do you manage doing voices for both Dragon Ball and One Piece?
Oh, I love it. The One Piece is such a great show. It was Dragon Ball was one of these shows we worked on for so long that we went through this long process of originally, we were copying the Canadian voices for a little bit at the beginning, and when we go to cons, we would not get the same amount of love that we get now. Usually back in those days, like, why'd you guys change the voices? Why'd you guys change the music? Why does this sound... Why'd you guys change the scripts? And I didn't have answers for
We should have been clever at the time. So we killed them. We just went and killed the first crew. We murdered them all, and we took their jobs.
Our ideas are better. But One Piece was a case where there was a dub out there that people weren't as happy with, and then we got to come in and kind of save the day and do the dub.
I was in that other dub, by the way.
Yeah.
I was in the 4Kids dub. I played like Hachi and Helmeppo, and I did. Yeah, it was bad. And I love 4Kids, but because they treated me really well for 10 years.
Do you know what's funny? I played Helmeppo as well.
Oh, did you?
In a demo version of it before Funimation gave it to 4Kids.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
We
played the same character.
Do you know what our old producer did? Our old producer passed on Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what he said? I heard he said, like, who wants to watch a show about cards? Who's going to watch a show about cards?
He was
and
really,
then 4Kids got it.
He was really wise.
A wise guy. But apparently everybody wants to watch a show about cards.
All right, next question, because we got a lot of people.
Yeah, we got a lot of people, and we are taking too long because we're
10 minutes left.
Sorry. Brian Johnson from ACDC, here we go.
In the movie Battle of Gods, along with episode 14 of Dragon Ball Super, I hear Sean Schemmel doing the impression of Vegeta of, "My Bulma! My Bulma!
Darn it! It's so close.
How would Chris Sabat do as Vegeta imitating Goku?
I can't.
Here's a funny fact. When Chris and I do Vegito or Gogeta, particularly if we do Gogeta, because I record first on Gogeta, I didn't realize that my inflections as Goku were so peak and valley, so wide, really wide inflections. I'm just playing the character. So Chris will ask me, he said, could you not inflect quite as wide? Because he's a natural bass, and I'm a natural baritone, lyric baritone, I have a higher voice, right? And so I kind of do a quasi-British accent and don't inflect quite as wide because he'll come in after me. He's like, I just can't go as far, high and low. I mean, he can probably do it within his range, but where I'm at is
it's just really tricky to do in Vegeta's voice, you know what I mean? I can't do a Goku impression. I literally can't, because
all you gotta do is act like you're on crack.
Yep.
Okay.
The closest I have is Yamcha.
It just makes me feel like I've drank, when I play the character, if I'm in the booth, I feel like and this is the reason one of the reasons I don't do the voice in person a lot, largely because I've gotten in trouble with my agent numerous times of doing the voice all weekend and then not being able to work when I get back, especially when we're on Super. Chris has never complained to me yet, but I've been good about keeping my voice in check. But it's that there's this weird face I have to make, and I always feel like, I just drank 5 Cokes! And it's not a comfortable feeling to do in front of someone when someone asks you the voice and you're looking right at them. I feel like Judge Reinhold when he's close talker and that's old school, never mind. But you guys are too young for that. But it's just this look on your face where you're just I don't know, it's too maniacal for me to do in person. King Kai is not a problem. I do that all day, that's fine. But that's not a problem. But
Yeah, I like it when people ask me to do Piccolo's voice because it's not as loud. I can just go, yeah, Piccolo, yeah, that's cool. But anyone asks me to do a Vegeta impression, it's like I turn every head in the place. I'm like, hi! And everyone's like, ah! And I hate doing it in public for that reason. It calls so much attention to myself.
I wish they would do a full-on Piccolo babysitting episode. Not just the one where he's rocking his foot like in Super, but like just like the driving episode where he's trying to make formula, he gets frustrated.
Dude, I would love that.
Babysitting, because he's always babysitting Gohan, or now the grandkids he's babysitting, you know. And there's a cute
Amazon robot.
They're delivering packages. What else can we do for you? We good on the question? Sorry.
Does Amazon mean something different in Spanish, like Amazon or something like?
Is it
I don't
different?
know. I've never. I figured you guys are the right audience to ask this question to. Amazon.
4-star in the Dragon Ball Z Kai episode.
Yes.
From the Cell Games reenactment.
What?
I didn't. I can't. What happened?
Sorry, what?
Team 4-star in the Dragon Ball Z Kai Cell Games reenactment.
Yes. I don't understand.
I don't understand.
I don't know if it was a
I don't
question.
understand the question.
Like the members of Team 4-star, like in the Cell Games reenactment of the Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapters.
Yes.
I'm actually surprised.
Me too.
I don't think they made it in the final version, though.
Yeah.
Did they?
Not on America, I don't think. Not on Cartoon Network. That wasn't them, I don't think.
Well, thanks for the question. There's other people we got to get to.
Yes.
This, and we're running out of time.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
We're very much running out of time. Sorry.
This is a question for Chris. Have you ever felt like Yamcha when you first fought Broly?
Did I feel what?
When you first fought Broly, did you feel like Yamcha?
Did I feel like Yamcha? Yamcha's, as I said, the best character in the show. So me feeling like Yamcha would be feeling like I feel pretty awesome. Have you ever heard? Did you know that somebody wrote a manga in Japan about this super fan, this otaku who's obsessed with Dragon Ball Z, and he gets hit on the head, and he wakes up and he's in Yamcha's body at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z with all the knowledge of everything that happens in Dragon Ball Z.
So it's like a fusion of Back to the Future because he's got the knowledge of the, the magazine, but he's got all the knowledge.
I'm gonna make that into an anime because that would be so much fun.
And it's told from his perspective. Like, it's a very interesting thing for those of you who like manga.
Learning things. Thanks for your question.
Thank you.
Sorry, we just have time for one more, guys.
Sorry, guys who sat on the floor the entire time for no reason.
P.F. Chang's was delicious, though.
Oh, here's that used cross salesman.
Oh yeah, he's got used crosses.
First of all, I just want to say I really love y'all's work on the dubbing.
Thank you.
I just want to say y'all are doing a really good job on the Kai and the Super, which I've been watching. Actually, like later tonight, I go on Facebook and they actually have the newest episodes. So
wait, today's Saturday, right?
Yeah. So
that means it's going to be on tonight.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Thank you.
I have a question for Chris, though.
Good.
Sean, you're good. How do you feel about this is going to sound, how do you feel about that meme, the shooting stars? How do you feel about that? The one that's happened what meme is that?
Is it the one where Vegeta's dancing to the bingo song?
Yeah.
I love that one, actually. No one actually makes me need to sing that either, so that's good. Like, I just enjoy watching it. I don't have to scream it at the top of my lungs. It's really funny, though. If you haven't seen it, you guys should watch it.
That was it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. See you guys soon.
Thanks so much for coming.
Guys, we're going right back to our table.
Wrapping? Yeah, we're wrapping.
Thank you for coming to see us. If you have other questions, you can come ask us at the table or whatever like that.
Yeah, and Eric Bell will be up here soon, so if you guys want to stick around for that, go for it.
Don't. What? Don't stay for Eric Bale.
Oh, is Eric Bale coming on next?
Yeah.
Oh, screw that guy.
Yeah, don't watch him. He's going to be so boring. Yeah,
I want someone to raise your hand and say, Eric, are you a disgruntled individual?
Stay really quiet. Just don't react to anything. Just don't laugh, don't clap, nothing. Just sit there and let every joke of his bomb, okay? Thank you. Then come tell me about it. Bye.
Thank you guys.